Money and security motivated Deon's relocation to Boulder, Colorado. This has nothing to do with uplifting black people. This has everything to do with uplifting himself and other elites. Black elites love pretending they're taking bold public stances for the betterment of the working class and poor black people. Oh my God, I'm just here for my people. I'm supposed to allow this man to sit up and package what he's doing as a God thing, and I'm just supposed to let it ride.
What you got to say about that?
Yikes.
Yikes what?
That's a little over my head.
So we watched the Colorado-Oregon game today, and Colorado got pretty much smashed today.
Yeah.
And here's the thing. I mean, it happens. It's sports. It's just part of the game sometimes. Listen, you're going to win some, you're going to lose some, and some you're going to win pretty big, and then some you're going to lose pretty big, and they lost pretty big today. But with what he's done, I think it's pretty honestly pretty amazing. Now, this guy, Jason Whitlock here, to be honest with you, I have come not to really like him over the past couple months. He is very critical of Deon Sanders. And here's the thing. He has his right to be critical of Deon Sanders, but some of the things that he's being critical for and some of the things he is talking about, I mean, listen, I think he just has a bone to pick.
Boulder, Colorado. Black population, less than 1%. Less than 1%. But this is the blackest thing in the world. God led me to my people in Boulder, Colorado. My people just happen to be less than 1% black in Boulder, Colorado, but this is where God told me to go.
We're watching this whole Deon Sanders thing. We're watching the Colorado, from Deon going from Jackson, Mississippi to Colorado. There were a lot of black people that were upset with him. And I don't know if you know about that, but he was at a HBCU, and so he left the HBCU, and black people were completely mad at him because they were saying he was selling out because he went to Colorado, which is probably had a population of 3 black people, and then he brought a whole bunch of black people to Colorado. Let's be honest. Pretty much any other black coach, if they were going to get paid the money that they paid him, would have left. At some point in time, you got to take a good offer. If it's a good offer and another university can't match that offer, or somebody, listen, anybody else who had a job and another job was offering them the amount of money more that he was being offered would have taken it.
Deon packed up his brand and relocated and evacuated Jackson, Mississippi, a city that's 83% black, to enrich a city with virtually no black people. Black power. That's how we keep it real. Black power. Deon is a black brand being used to benefit a white school in a white city. Black power. Black elites are the true face of white supremacy.
I've seen a lot of people kind of mixed about Deon. I've seen a lot of black people who really, really are, rooting for Deon. And I've seen a lot of white people that are really, really rooting for Deon too. And I've kind of seen little jabs here and there from different people from what you call the establishment, from people that's like college football should be this certain way. And listen, that's their right to believe that. But it's one thing when you have, let's just be honest. It's one thing if you have white people rooting against Deon. It's another thing when you have black people rooting against Deon. Because to be honest with you, where is there to root against?
That's the guy telling everybody, God told me to do this, God that. On the sidelines, Lil Wayne, Key Glock, The Rock, Master P, Offset, the whole rap community.
Listen, I would say probably over 50% of the athletes that play college football over the last, let's say 20 years have been predominantly black. And so you now have a black coach that comes in that has a way of communicating and talking to these black players. And listen, when I played college football, I had a couple of black coaches on the team, but I had a whole lot of white coaches. there's a lot of things that the coaches didn't relate to us for. They didn't relate to us as far as music. They didn't relate to us as far as, how we moved on campus and different. They didn't relate to us as far as style because they were, 20 and 30 years, removed from us. And so, but you have this guy, Deon Sanders, that he has, his sons that are playing on the team, and I think you found that out today. He has one of his sons plays quarterback, and his other son plays safety. So he has two. Yeah, he has two sons on the team. So he relates to that age group because he has kids in that age group, and so a lot of people looking at it as like the way that he if you follow Deon has always been this flashy flair kind of guy ever since that he kind of stepped on the scene. And how do you think that's going to change now as he's gotten older and he's trying to do the same thing as far as instill confidence and help bring out talent in a lot of the younger players, whether honestly for some that are black, but also listen, doesn't matter what color they are, he's trying to touch the younger generation. And how do you touch the younger generation versus being what they are and what they look to be, which is outgoing and flashy?
The transfer portal, NIL, and the total abandonment of ethics has fueled Colorado's so-called miraculous turnaround.
I have a bone to pick with college sports. Listen, I played college sports, so I knew some of the ins and outs of college sports when I played. And to be honest with you, college sports wasn't very fair to the athlete a lot of times. A lot of times they would say, you got a scholarship, and so, your scholarship was the benefit of you going to college. And listen, if you were a good athlete, the college made tons and millions of dollars off of you. They would sell your jersey. They made money off of the games. They have made money off of athletes for years. And now athletes are having a chance to make money off of themselves also. And here's the thing, I don't know the ins and outs of this, but they're also giving a chance to transfer and still play in the same year versus before. If you were to transfer, I think you had to sit out a year, which means that you kind of lost a year.
You cannot compare what Deon Sanders is doing to the turnaround efforts of previous coaches, because before the last 2 or 3 years, no coach had the opportunity to overhaul their entire roster in one season.
And so it's becoming a little better for the college athlete. And the thing is that some people don't like that. Now, the thing about Deon is Deon does have this star power. And people are a little salty and a little upset with that. But Deon's star power is one of those things that's been earned. It's been earned because, look, he proved himself as a player, and he's also proven himself as a coach in different levels.
Great coaches were tasked with the job of coaching the kids they inherited better than their predecessor. What you primarily do is coach the guys you inherited, utilize them better than your predecessor. And then over the course of 2, 3, 4 years, then you replace them with guys you recruited. That was how you used to turn around a program. Bill Snyder, Nick Saban taking over somewhere, these guys couldn't snap their fingers and bring in 85 new players. Deon is not the mastermind of a miracle turnaround.
He's saying that Deon is not the mastermind of some incredible turnaround. Now, with as many coaches as there are in college, what I'm going to say is that as many coaches as there are in college, can any coach do the same thing that he's been doing?
But I feel like he built a name for himself, and it's his name and his hard work that is turning this around. Maybe, he has the ability to do what he's doing now because of kind of his legacy and what he did previously. That's still what he did.
Yeah, but the other coaches who have, name brands like Nick Saban and other coaches like that, can they also not do the same thing that he's doing? Can they not? Listen, the rules are the same across college football right now. There's not like Colorado has a certain set of rules and every other college team has different sets of rules.
He's just a brand that they bought to be the face of their program. He's an avatar. And then they said, Deon, here's a check. Go out and buy all the players you want. We'll make them name, image, and likeness deals. And go out and buy any of the coaches you want. We'll overpay them to be the offense and defensive coordinators and the assistant coaches. He's a brand with a blank check to buy a team.
Sounds a little like New York Yankees to me.
I was gonna say, but still, he still has to pick the right players and the right coaches.
And he still has to play within the rules of college football.
Yeah.
And so the thing is that, listen, you look at a lot of the top tier college football programs. Do you not think that they don't pay their assistant coaches more than other programs pay their assistant coaches? Absolutely. How do you think they keep the top tier assistant coaches? And so listen, I mean, whatever he wants to say, it's the same playing field across all of college football. And so just because Deon has figured out his niche, he's actually a mastermind at that. And the thing is that, yeah, you can criticize him for that, but he actually is a genius for doing that.
Let me be clear. I don't have a problem with it. That's how the game is played right now.
If you don't have a problem with it, why are you complaining about it?
Yeah, why do you have a... I can't even see those
Coach
full numbers.
Scam. Like,
How
why do you
long
have
is
a
the video?
Yeah, well, we ain't gonna watch this whole video. It's over an hour and a half of him complaining.
That's what I'm saying. An hour and a half video. You don't have a problem with it.
But I made an hour and a half video about it.
That's how college football and college sports have collapsed from an ethics perspective, from a fairness perspective. That's the way the game runs now.
So, in the ethics perspective and the fairness perspective that he's talking about, is that you take players and basically you use players, as the NCAA has done for years. And if a player gets hurt and they can't actually, let's just say you have a good player that gets hurt and they can't make it to the league, you have made millions of dollars off this player, but they don't have a chance to make any money back for themselves. Let's be realistic. For a lot of these top tier college players, these top tier athletes, they're going to school to play ball. They're not going to school to go to school. Right. I mean, let's just stop shooting the bull here. They're going to school to play ball. Mm-hmm. And so if something happens where that gets interrupted and they can't make it to the next level, they don't have a fall. They're not going to class. I mean, listen, you can be listen. If you look at what happened to Carolina a couple years ago, these players are barely going to class. All right. Now, you have other college athletes that are actually, not the top tier that are going to class. They're actually going to get education. But you'll take these college athletes and you'll pimp them out. And here's the thing. Before then, you were only able to make a certain amount of money if you were on scholarship. I know people that had to play by those rules. They can only, because they were on scholarship, they can only make a certain amount of money per semester, even if they came from an impoverished background. And so you're not going to tell me that, yes, I can sell, as an NCAA, I can sell your jersey for hundreds of thousands of dollars, but then on the other end, I'm going to tell you that you can only make $2,500 a semester. So that's fair, but anyway.
The fraudulence was everywhere Saturday. If you know what you're looking for, if you're an objective observer, if you have a set of standards and values that you stick to. The man claiming God as his motivating force invited the gangster rap world to his locker room, to his sidelines, to Boulder, Colorado, and everywhere. Play the video. I think we have a video of Lil Wayne lead them out of the locker room doing his little rap song. Not Rance Allen, who's dead, God rest his soul. It ain't Tasha Cobbs. It's Lil Wayne. Nothing to do with Christian.
So, let's see you tired. So we're listening. We're ready to go to bed, so she's tired. But anyway, I mean,
finish your video.
Anyway, but honestly, what is your feeling? Like I said, I've watched some of this. What is your feeling?
I think he's just a hater of Deon. I mean, yeah, not every football team could afford to have Lil Wayne bring their team out onto the field, but I mean, Deion Sanders, he put the time in. He put the hard work in. He built his name, and maybe he's getting paid a little bit more because, or maybe he has extra funds because of his name, but he did that.
Here's what I'm going to say. I'm going to say that I'm pretty sure that he didn't pay Lil Wayne to do that. I'm pretty sure that's not one of the things that they're doing out there. I'm pretty sure that was one of those things that probably Lil Wayne offered to do. Or you see what I'm saying? It's like it was a gift. It was one of those things. It's like, listen, I'll come do this because I see what you're trying to do.
But he knows people. Not everybody knows people like that either.
Yeah, and listen, I'm with you on that. But with the athletes that have come through, let's just say a university like North Carolina. Does North Carolina not have people that graduate like
Yeah.
Michael Jordan and people like that? I mean,
J.
all
Cole,
who?
what's his first name?
Who used to go and say J. Cole didn't graduate from North Carolina?
No, he's from
North Carolina. Yeah.
But what is this? Is that his name? Yeah.
J. Cole.
Okay, it didn't sound right for a minute.
Yeah, but anyway, do other universities not have star power they can pull on to do different things like this? Absolutely. Just because Deon is actually using the people that he knows and the people that are around him to draw in crowds and to draw in excitement. I mean, listen, you're gonna hate on that? I mean, he's taking a football team that only won one game last year. And he's trying to turn it around in 1 year. And here's the thing. He's not going to be able to turn the whole thing around in 1 year. But what he has to do, he has to basically create a fire for people to come and want to be there and want to watch him. I think this guy, Jason Whitlock, proclaims himself to be a Christian. And listen, that's perfectly fine. And I'm not sitting here trying to judge somebody's Christian faith or anything like that. But I do find that a lot of these people that are online, these Jason Whitlocks, these Candace Owens, and these other black so-called Christians are some of the most judgmental people that I've ever seen in my life. And what I mean by that is that they seem to be higher than everyone else. High mighty is that, listen, this is where you're supposed to be as far as your Christian faith, and anything that doesn't reach that mark is that you are basically a sinner, and why are you trying to profess yourself as being a Christian? Deon seems to have some sort of faith that he lives by, and to be honest with you, that's for him. That's for him and for him only. That's not for me to judge, and that's not for anybody else to judge. But basically what Jason is trying to say is like, you proclaim to be a faith person, but you're having secular people come to your football team and to lead your football team out on the field. How do you reach young people? Do you reach young people by bringing in, pastors and things like that? Yeah, to a degree, you do. But what are more young people in tune with? More young people are in tune with people who they look up to, which a lot of times are rappers and musicians and superstars like that. And so how do you reach young people? The thing is that you want to sit here and you want to criticize someone about what they're doing. But when you turn around and look, what are you doing to reach young people?
Right.
Because from what I can see from this guy, Jason Whitlock, is that he's sitting here behind a camera and he's basically just talking down on someone else that's actually out there doing the work. And until you actually get out there and you do the work and you figure out that some of the stuff that you may think in your mind does not actually reach out and does not touch young people, then at some point in time, you may have to change the way that you think and the way that you move to try to reach young people. You can't stand on the other side of a river and say, hey, why don't you just swim across to me and you will be saved? Sometimes you have to actually go to the other side of the river and help somebody make it across. And to be honest with you, for me, that's what Deon is trying to do. I don't think this is as much about football as it is about trying to raise up young people. Probably one of his things that he's looking at is trying to raise up black young youth, because of, if you look who the people that he's bringing in, is a lot of black celebrities. Yes, he's going to have some players that are going to go to the NFL. But I would say that he understands that the majority of the players that play for him are not going to make it to the NFL. But what he's trying to instill in them is a sense of pride and a sense of hope. And also a way to, hey, listen, just because you walk a certain way, just because you talk a certain way, just because that, you're a little different from everybody else, doesn't mean that you can't go out there and you can't succeed. And so at the end of the day, listen, the swagger that Deon brings to, Colorado and the things that he's doing and the things that honestly he's doing to say is like, listen, I am Deon. I am a little different. Listen, I'm almost done. I am a little different, but at the same time, I am a winner. Doesn't mean that I have to be a cookie cutter of everyone else. And I can do things my own way, but I also can show you that just by doing my things my own way is that I'm no different from you, but my success is the same as your success. So listen, I can't down on that, but listen, when you have haters who are black and you're a black person that is honestly just trying to make your own way and trying to uplift other black people, but you have some black people that always want to shoot you down because they think because honestly they think that they're better than you. At that point in time, when do you need white people to hate on you? Because you got enough black people hating on you now. But anyway, I don't know. I know. This was my video. Didn't really have much for you to say. But anyway, what you got to say? I know. Listen,
Go Deon.